Hi everyone, this is Michael with the general reading for Virgo Sun, Moon, and Rising for May 2019. I do hope you're all doing very, very well. I have just been so thrilled with the growth of this channel. Your likes, shares, and subscribes really mean so much to me, and they help me put out these messages. It's amazing to be part of this incredible tarot community on YouTube. There's just so much support and love, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of it, so thank you so, so much. I have also been doing astrological reports for each of these readings. You can find a blog post down below where I share my notes. It's by no means exhaustive, but I feel like it's just a good resource, especially if you're kind of trying to figure out what is going to be happening when. What else? I am also beginning love readings. You can expect those in the middle of the month, so I do hope you are looking forward to those. I have I did a poll, and it just was overwhelming consensus that people wanted love readings. It's like 50%, and there's like 4 other options, so people are really into that, which doesn't surprise me. There's kind of that saying with tarot readers that every reading you do is a love reading, and I mean, relationships make up so much of our lives, so it's not surprising. Yeah, so all of that exciting stuff aside, before we actually begin, I just want to disclaim that this is all a general reading, so that means that not all of the messages are going to apply to you. It's up to you to figure out what resonates and what should be left behind. Some of this information may also come in the reverse, meaning energy that comes in as a third party might actually be your own, and vice versa. And if you are cross-watching for a Virgo, then you are probably coming in as the third party. All of that said, I did tune into our energy before we actually began this reading, and I was pulling cards, or rather waiting for cards to fall out, and that's how I determined the order of the signs. That's how I've determined all of the order for these videos. And we came out as the Hermit in reverse. I wouldn't be too afraid that we came up in reverse. This actually seems more like us coming out of Hermit mode, and we actually had several cards that came out with this as well. We have this Three of Cups, this Page of Swords, and this Chariot card. So I feel like a lot of Virgo have really just been keeping to themselves this past month. I think, I know I personally have. I'm also a Virgo myself, so I can kind of speak from a personal perspective here. It's been very much just getting focused on work, doing your own thing, taking time for yourself, taking time to recharge. I remember in the last Virgo reading, there was a lot of you who were really being overwhelmed, or just being, you were taking in a lot of energy, and it might not have made sense to the people around you. It was almost just something only you were feeling and seeing. You were very much in your own world in April. And I do feel like you are coming out of this now. You are stepping down from the mountain, so to speak. You've attained your enlightenment. You've done what you've needed to do, and you're coming into just a beautiful celebration. You're getting out there. You're putting yourself out there again. This could be you hanging out with friends, or going out, or meeting new people, potentially even romantic partners, or dating. And you're just in a very lovely place. This is a great celebration card. It seems like a lot of you are celebrating something. Maybe what you were working on has really paid off, and you're going out now to celebrate with the people you care about. I see that you're coming up very strong, mental, analytical with this Page of Swords here. Some of you may also be a bit sweet with an air sign, or you may be connecting to an air sign that's near and dear to your heart. This could be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. It does feel like whatever was happening, you're just feeling like whatever was happening, you took the time that you needed to, and now you're ready to go and do the next thing. You're going forward, especially with this Chariot card here. My goodness, there's just so much forward moving energy, so much expansion and drive that is in the Virgo collective right now, which is awesome. I know with us going into Taurus season, or being in Taurus season already, we have a lot of planets that are going to be moving through Taurus, and that's going to be trining a lot of the Virgo placements. So do check out your natal chart to be sure of how these energies are going to affect you. I do feel like you're just coming in very strong, you're communicating very clearly, and your intellect is just on. And we do have a lot of interesting stuff that's actually happening with Mercury on the 1st of May, so tomorrow. And that is going to be Mercury is going to be in Aries, and that is going to be trining with, what is it, Mars in Gemini. So there's going to be this need to really speak up and to advocate and to put yourself out there and to start new things. It's also going to be squaring off with Capricorn and, or I'm sorry, with Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, and that's going to really put a lot of emphasis on the workplace. I almost feel like this is going to happen professionally for a lot of you. There's going to be this need to stand up for yourself, and that's going to be across the board, but I'm feeling because this energy is in Capricorn, a fellow earth sign, we're going to feel it a lot as a Virgo. So there is going to be a lot of breakthrough. You're coming in very strong. It just seems good. You seem like you're in a really good place, Virgo, so I'm happy to see that. Astrologically, what else is happening? We do have, aside from all that mercurial madness, there is a Taurus new moon, I want to say on the 5th, and that will be a good time to start new projects, to really focus on new ways to find stability for yourself, or new ways of securing your finances. And there is a Scorpio full moon on the 18th, so letting things go, letting go of grief and loss. I also feel like there is, what else was happening this month? Oh, that's it. Lilith is going into Pisces, which is that's going to be very, very interesting for Virgo, I have to say. I don't want you to freak out about it. Lilith going into our opposite sign Pisces is kind of going to add a lot of interesting energy to the relationship sector. Some of you might be dealing with a Cancer that was kind of coming up last month, and I do see that energy still showing up in your reading now. So some of you have started something with a Cancer, or potentially an air sign, and it's there might be a lot of very intense growth that happens there. And I know a lot of Virgo are going to be groaning because you did have Chiron in Pisces for a while, for several years, and that just moved into Aries earlier this year. And there's just been a lot of focus in that 7th house and that descendant Pisces. So there has been just a lot of facing our own shadow, facing your own subconscious beliefs regarding partnership and relationship. And this doesn't even necessarily need to be romantic. This could also be business partnerships. This could also be close friends. Anyone you spend a lot of time with, or that you're working together with on something, it's really going to be coming to the forefront. And it's going to be an excellent time to do shadow work. It's going to be an excellent window to really figure out how you're sabotaging yourself in your relationships and in your partnerships, what you're compromising on. And there may be a tendency to daydream, to get a bit lost in fantasies, so do be aware of that as well. But overall, I'm feeling like this is just, it's going to show you a lot about how you can improve relationships as kind of a positive way of looking at it. And Lilith isn't going to be there forever, but it is kind of slow moving. I want to say it's 9 months, so it's going to be there for a while. If you're interested, I am actually starting love readings in the middle of the month. I think I said that earlier. With those love readings, they are going to be helpful for anyone, regardless of whether you are single, in a relationship, married, divorced, whatever. Whatever messages come forward is the messages I'm just going to give. I do feel like it's going to apply to everyone, and there'll just be something to take away from it. So do keep your eyes out for that in the middle of May. That may be very helpful for you. But overall, it actually does look like you're having options. There's definitely a lot of people. I feel like you're putting yourself out there. You're getting out of this hermit mode, and that's really exciting. You're starting new things. I really wouldn't worry too much about the Lilith placement, to be honest. It doesn't seem to be like that heavy on this specific collective. So that is all I have for kind of the pre-energy read. My goodness, it's almost 10 minutes in already. So let's start with the actual reading here. I'm just going to kind of set our intention really quick. Great. I was told to shuffle 5 times. That's a lot, but here we go. What are the general messages for Virgo for May 2019? What is the general guidance for Virgo in May 2019? What are the general messages for Virgo for May 2019? What should Virgo be aware of for May 2019? What are the general messages for Virgo in May 2019? Okay, let's see here. Nice. Yeah, so we have the Three of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, nice, and the King of Cups in reverse. So, I definitely see that there is a lot of cooperation, there's a lot of teamwork that's going to be happening at the beginning of May for most of you. There is going to potentially be cooperation at work or at the home front, or just people who are involved with your day-to-day lives. You're definitely going to be communicating more and working together, collaborating. It's a very strong time to work together with other people on business ventures as well. I feel like you're just making very steady progress at the start of May, and you're definitely having some victory. You're definitely coming in very, very strong with this being in the emotional position. And this is, I should specify, this is the energy coming into May. This is kind of the past energy. So this is April still. You're coming into May working together with people, coming in feeling very victorious and very strong. Some of you may also be returning to someone, or someone may be returning to you, or just something that you're passionate about. You may be returning to a passion that you left behind, and it's going to be very successful. I do see this King of Cups in reverse. This could be a water sign that you are communicating with, someone who's been emotionally caught or someone who's caught up in their own emotions. This could potentially be you as well. So this could either be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or it could be you yourself. There may be blocked off communication with a water sign. I know Cancer has been coming up a lot for Virgo, especially. I feel like with this energy here, this is... It's like, even though you're communicating in a day-to-day environment very well, you're getting the things you need to get done, there's still this apprehension with opening up emotionally, and that's kind of coming into May. So towards the end of April, even though you were opening up a little bit, you were coming out of hermit mode, Virgo, I do see that you're still having a little bit of difficulty expressing your emotions. You might still be blocked off in communication with somebody or a group of people, and it's just... I don't know. It almost seems a little unnecessary because you're coming in very, very strong. You're coming in very powerful. I'm curious to see what the animals have to say about the past for you. That's too many. What is the animal wisdom? Yeah, hummingbird. This is perfect because this is very much being in motion. This is a very light and free energy, and that's just how you're feeling, Virgo. You're having a lot of fun, and I think you're figuring out how to get the sweetness out of life. It's so important for you, if you're feeling drained and depleted, that you look for the nectar, you look for the good things, that you do positive focus. I feel like that would be very, very beneficial for you. And I just feel like my Virgos are very... They have a zest for life right now. There's this new energy, this very free feeling, very lovely and expansive. You're definitely coming out of a heavy period here, and you're just feeling much, much lighter and freer as a result of it. That's really, really good to see. Hummingbird is honestly just one of the most joyful creatures you could encounter in this deck. So you are coming in very strong. Even though there's kind of this fear of vulnerability either on your part or someone else's, or someone just really caught up in their own emotions, not really expressing it, it's not weighing you down. You're very... I want to say, like, not independent because you are working with other people, but you're just in your power. That's good. This is good. I like this. Let's see what we have. Yeah. My goodness, Virgo. We have the King of Pentacles for you. This is the first half of May. Temperance. And the Seven of Swords. This is interesting. I feel like with this King of Pentacles here, this feels like you, Virgo. Just, you're very in your element, and that's kind of how you were last month, but it feels much more realized this time. It feels very good and very stable, very solid. Whatever it is you're working on, it's definitely paying off. You're doing the right thing. You're in the right place at the right time at the beginning of May. Some of you may also be dealing with another earth sign, so that could be a Taurus, another Virgo, or a Capricorn, and you're working very, very well together. And I feel like, again, there's good communication with the day-to-day, with kind of figuring things out. It seems like whatever you're working on, it's very solid. With this Temperance card in the heart of the reading here, this is beautiful, beautiful. This is balanced relationships, healing, patient energy, so kind of trusting in divine timing, but something very beautiful is coming for you, and it may already arrive in the beginning of May, in the first half, or you may be getting signs of it. You may be seeing that already. It feels like it could be a Sagittarius for some of you, or someone who has a lot of Sagittarius in their chart. This could also be your energy, just really getting back into balance, but it seems like there's just this big, it feels very much like a relationship. I gotta be honest. We're gonna have to find out more during the relationship read, right? But it seems like, regardless of whether you're single or partnered, there's just beautiful energy there right now, and you're gonna be feeling it. However, with the Seven of Swords, I do have to say there is some sneakiness here. Someone may be kind of sneaking behind your back. There might even be a little bit of spying, I have to say. Someone may be watching you on social media, is something that is coming up for some of you. There is kind of indirect communication in general. There could even be some sort of deception. So do be mindful. If you feel like someone is sneaking around, this could even be you, Virgo. Whatever it is you've been dealing with, or however you've been communicating, or whoever you've been communicating with, there's been this lack of emotional vulnerability, and it's almost like someone is kind of coming forward in a little bit of a sneaky roundabout way. So this could be you, could be someone else, could potentially be a water sign, or a Sagittarius, but it's very, I don't know. You might also be trying to think of what to do next, or trying to sneak around a certain situation. There could be something that you are trying to achieve, kind of plotting at the beginning of May. What do you have up your sleeve, Virgo? That's very interesting. But overall, it's looking pretty good, especially with this Temperance card here and this King of Pentacles. This is really, really nice. Some of you may also be starting something new with an earth sign. If you're in a relationship with an earth sign, or you know an earth sign, you're kind of bringing that relationship to the next level, graduating on to a more, or a higher level of commitment. Very interesting. What is the animal wisdom for Virgo in the beginning of May? Whew. Interesting. We have this Nightingale card. So, okay. Some of you, this is definitely your energy, the Seven of Swords. You're not being direct with the way you're communicating, because when Nightingale comes out, it's time to just speak from the heart and to really sing the music in your heart aloud. This could literally be through music, expressing yourself in songwriting or singing, also poetry writing. Any sort of creative expression really will capture this Nightingale energy quite nicely. I feel like some of you have been a bit afraid to, speak your feelings, or to work on something creative, and you're definitely feeling that spark at the beginning of May. It's going to be a really good time to express yourself in whatever capacity that is, and try and avoid the Seven of Swords. If you also do feel like this is someone around you, if you feel like someone's being sneaky in their communication or their approach with you, they might just be waiting for you to speak up first. Maybe you've been kind of a bit closed off and they don't know how to read you, and they're kind of waiting for you to say something. So maybe that's why the Seven of Swords is coming up. But this Nightingale card is also again, very beautiful card. Two birds now for the animals, so that does tell me there is a definite need for communication. We don't have any other air cards yet, so I feel like you're being guided by spirit to be more communicative in May. I'm not seeing anything else right now, so we're now going to look at the second half of May and potentially out into June. This is kind of like the outcome section of where all of this is going, the current trajectory. It's not very the time frames in these readings is very fluid. Don't look at it as like a schedule by any means. It's just sort of the progression, the way things are flowing right now. And for the future, we have lots of big energy for you, Virgo. I have to say, you've had a lot of big arcana here. We have the Moon card, the Knight of Pentacles. This is you. This is the Virgo card for sure. And the Hierophant. So by the end of May, things may not be as clear as they had seemed. Perhaps you're going to find out something with the Seven of Swords, someone who is sneaking behind your back. It might become clear and it adds a lot of confusion. Or perhaps you're just oblivious to it and kind of just off in dream world here. Your intuition is very, very strong. However, you might not necessarily have a good plan for what is happening or a good sense or vision of what is to come, but it's almost like you're just moving in the way you need to be moving. You're being guided in the way you need to go. And that's just kind of the trajectory of your life towards the end of May. There's definitely this air of mystery, I gotta say, which is very interesting. It's almost a time to, instead of trying to anticipate, which Virgo can get very caught up with, that they're very, because Virgo is such a nervous sign, they like to have an idea of what's going to happen so they can kind of be in control. I feel like by the end of May, it's important for you to kind of let that go a little bit, to just flow and to see what is unfolding, because you are moving very steadily towards something very solid with this Knight of Pentacles. You're working very hard on something that's very, very near and dear to your heart, being in the emotional position here. And some of you this could potentially even be a person or a project. I see this could potentially be moving towards another earth sign, so a Taurus, another Virgo, or Capricorn. There is also this Moon card here, so it could be a Pisces. But we also have the Taurean energy and the Hierophant as well. With this kind of being in the mental and communicative part of the chart, this is a very spiritual time for you, Virgo. By the end of May, with the Moon and the Hierophant, these are two very strong spiritual presences. I feel like you're going to be moving on to the next level. Mentally, you might have a big breakthrough that helps you advance. This is normally a card of tradition, but I wouldn't get so caught up in the more colloquial use of the word tradition. It's just, what are your practices? What are the things that you care about? It doesn't necessarily need to be a traditional religion, although this is what this has traditionally represented. I see this more as you moving forward with your spirituality, moving more into your path, and I'm getting a big, loud ringing in my ear from that, so that tells me that that's going to be resonating with a lot of you. You're just moving forward in a very beautiful direction. Your relationships are looking good, everything's looking solid, people are working on the things they finally need to be working on, and I do feel like whatever has been happening up until this point, you are getting back in touch with your emotions by the end of May. You might be a bit more communicative with them as well. It might be a bit confusing for you, and it might be a bit disorienting, but you're still going in such a solid direction. Whatever it is that's going to be adding some confusion or some mystery to your life, don't worry too much about it. You're still in the right direction. You're still going forward. And it seems like you really are advancing here with this Hierophant. Let's see what the animal cards have to say. Ooh. Yeah, of course. We were just talking about all of this. We have the crow. And this is obviously a very psychic and intuitive animal. It's very much pertaining to the third eye, seeing the past, present, and future. We we're definitely coming into an intuitive time again. And once more, we have an air animal. We have 3 birds that came up for you. So there's definitely a lot of communication that's happening. And with crow, I'm actually almost getting the sense that you are going to be getting messages from beyond. There's some sort of mediumship some of you may be having. Um, I know this is very esoteric sounding, but we do have a lot of spiritual energy for you at the end of May, and you're just coming in so powerfully psychic. And there's this very real need to speak a truth. Crow is very much a messenger. And with this card, it's also important to surround yourself with your murder of crows. That's how I like to phrase it. Um, People who aren't going to shun you for or call you dark or evil. People who are going to nurture your magic. People who are like-minded and positive, and they don't try to bring you down or try to scare you. That's going to be really, really important to you. And honestly, I see that you're finding your people, Virgo. You've already started to, and that just seems to be playing out more and more. Um, yeah, this is honestly a very beautiful read. This is a very positive reading for Virgo. I know that hasn't been super. It seems like Virgo's been going through so much, so it's nice to see that things really are really picking up for you. Um, yeah, I'm not getting. I'm not getting any more messages right now. It does seem like things are just very positive overall. Just be mindful of some sneakiness. Trust your intuition. It's going to really be coming in strongly towards the end of the month. It does seem like you're coming into a very balanced phase for your relationships as well, and a lot more emotional expression is going to be coming as a result of it. You're definitely coming more into a state of vulnerability, which is really good. I do hope that this video was helpful and that it resonated with all of you. Make sure to hit like and subscribe and definitely share this video. I do also have an Instagram account where I post pick a card readings and collective card readings sporadically, so definitely follow me on there if you're interested in that. I have information for donations and for personal readings if you're interested in booking one of those. I do also do Reiki sessions. All that information is down below. And if you... What was it? There was one more thing. Oh, and if this video didn't resonate, or if you want a more thorough picture, you are more than welcome to check out your other signs, your moon or rising sign. If you don't know what those are, you can enter your birth date information in a chart down below, which I have linked. I think it's Astro Chart or something like that. And it will just give you all that information so you can figure out your sun, moon, rising, Venus, all of those different planets. Interesting stuff. And I feel like that's going to be important because a lot of you are going to be diving into spirituality pretty strongly this month, especially towards the end. So I do hope that that's helpful. Otherwise, I guess I will just see you next time. Bye, Virgo. Happy May.